I'm ready to irradiate your existing brain cells.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another Waltons review. It's been a couple weeks there because I got busy last week there, so with this episode, it's not such a bad idea. With me, I got Resolute Germ. How are you doing?
Not too bad. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing wonderful here. I got some. I got the craving for chili here, so I went and got the stuff today. Came out just about right.
Good.
All right. Just one sec.
Pardon the interruption. The gorilla has to go deal with a mini gorilla.
Nope, I'm allotting tasks here. Oh, I forgot to put my banner here because of Warner Bros. My professional FU banner to Warner Bros. All right, so let's start off with our prologue. Many times when I have tripped across those events in one's life called milestones, I have thought about how they so often catch us unawares. There was, for instance, that unforgettable spring many years ago when, in the same week, Grandma had a face growing old, Mary Ellen had to face the feeling of a woman. So, yeah. So, get to the right screen here. So, yeah. We got Grandma here. She's bitching that because they're making stew. And it's going to turn to leather, and and nobody's in the house yet. Now, I got a question. These first few scenes here, did it sound like the sound was off? Like they had a rookie sound editor?
I didn't notice anything differently.
Like this one here, you can clearly tell that they're on the sound stage.
Watch those rolls.
Yeah! Like you hear that little bit of a wooden echo.
That didn't come through in my copy.
Huh. I sure did on mine. Even out on the porch is really noticeable. But maybe it's because I was listening to this on the Bluetooth there.
That'll
in the
do
car.
it.
So they got in here and they asked Grandma, "Is there anything else you can do?" And she just starts fisting. She don't like it. They can go hungry and everything else. Would be glad for what you got. So the grandpa came in and he said that old Charlie Steed was running his mouth. Now the one thing with the Charlie Steed there is we've only ever seen him in The Hunt and The Homecoming. This is his last appearance. I don't know if you remember old Charlie Sneed. Like they just mention him.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Him.
Hey, Jedi Bill.
Jedi Bill's here?
Yep.
Hey, welcome, Jedi Bill. How are you doing tonight? I hope you like that poll I put up. So, basically, Grandpa's just pulling him off the side. Go, hey, your grandma's getting old. She can't hear, so give her a break. And she's proud. She won't go to the damn doctor and stuff. Yeah, so that scene here, John Boy wants to take that old shed there and turn it into a study, even though he has a room of his own.
Kind of greedy of him.
Yeah. I suppose if they weren't using it, it's one thing, but I thought he studied in the barn.
He does normally.
Yeah. So he wants to turn that old shed. I'm supposed so he doesn't have to listen to the sounds of all 6 of the other kids there. Because All right, he's just wait, what? So oh yeah, so John says pretty much says it's all right. Yeah, and they just can't bear thinking of them all grown up. No, then we had this real long, drawn out thing. I think they played the radio thing a little too long because we knew the president was going to be speaking, but this went on for quite a bit. That they're just talking about. He's talking about Social Security tax or the Social Security there. So Grandpa's like, finally, I can retire. Oh, okay. So I wonder how much Grandpa would get in this
Roughly
from
the
the
same,
10.
I believe.
Well, it's 10. It's anywhere from $10 to $85 a month. I'm guessing from whatever. So it's probably based on your income, right?
I would assume so. Or the estimated value of your income over your lifespan. Since there wasn't an income tax to report for a great deal of Grandpa's working life.
Yeah, because income tax came in at 1913, I think. Was it? And it's supposed to just be a wealth tax, pretty much.
And
I think
look
it was
where we are 110 years later.
Yeah, because I think it was right at the end of World War One. The 16th Amendment, the federal tax. Ratified 1913. I thought I was always under the impression that that it was going to be that the income tax started because of World War One. One there as a temporary program to help pay for the war. And you know what they say? Nothing's more permanent than a temporary government program.
Exactly.
So, well, Grandpa's a veteran here, and he's worked in the sawmill a lot. But John don't pay him. So I wonder what his.
You wouldn't normally pay for family in that situation.
Yeah. So therefore, I wonder what is So he'd probably get just the $10 a month.
Oh, I'm sure they had some sort of conversion rate.
Yeah. And then Grandma here calls it an old person's tax or a whole old person's pension. Oh, this is where Grandma gets pissed off. As soon as they said, to the blind, the deaf, and the crippled. And she goes and turns it off. And oh, what the hell's her name? The one that Michael Lawrence played. What's her name?
You mean the mother, Liz?
Yeah. What?
Liz?
No, that's Elizabeth's the youngest child. No, drawing a blank. Wait, I know what it. Michael. Olivia.
Olivia.
There you go. So Olivia's like, I listened to that.
He's always saying Liv, not Liz. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. But then you got young Elizabeth there that eventually will get called Liz. Leave it. So, anyhow, Grant was like, they go, what happened? I go, I turned it off. He's gonna be speaking all night. Or saying the same thing all night. Well, and what the heck's paupers mean?
Paupers?
Paupers. Or I'm looking it up.
The poor.
One
Beggars.
who is extremely poor. Okay. Yeah, Grandma doesn't like the idea of the tax because she doesn't like the New Deal where I think she explained it wrong. Where she said a person has to give half their crop to the government in order to get a few cents back because it's supply and demand.
Yeah, the main part of the program was to essentially let half your land go foul, and the government would subsidize you to help increase supply and demand. She's on the right track because that program was a horrible, horrible failure. It turned the inability to make a profit into starvation.
Okay.
It wasn't the fact that people couldn't afford to buy the food and you couldn't make money selling or growing food. It was there was no food. So people were doubly fucked.
Gotcha. And she goes, the less crops they are, the more money gives away. And here, everybody says that he's the most wonderful president.
Oh yeah, most people loved him, but he expanded the Depression by twice as long as it really should have been.
See, here's the problem with us learning history and all that. I've always learned that how great he was during the Depression and during the war and stuff. I didn't have that, and I don't have that cynical attitude that you sometimes need to scrutinize. Like I could talk shit about Obama, Biden, Bush there, senior, and that all day long, but we always got taught in history because this was way before my parents. This is about the time my grandparents were born.
Yeah. And
actually,
you were taught the same thing about old Abraham Lincoln too, but he was a bastard just like FDR.
Hey, we're not playing favorites here. We're bitching about both sides of the aisle. Yeah, because I didn't even know that about the suspension of Corpus Christi and all that, and silencing of journalists and all that, until very recently. In the Civil War, then
not something they like to write down in history books.
Yeah, and I just learned about the old thing. Well, I kind of knew there's a little bit of censorship, but I didn't know how bad it was during World War II when they were spouting off loose lips sink ships.
Yeah, let's just say it wasn't just the Japanese in those internment camps.
I don't know. George Tacky will make you think they're all in.
Yeah, pretty much all the entire Japanese American population were there, but you'd find the odd newspaper reporter right alongside him who wrote the wrong story about FDR and the New Deal.
Then Grandma goes asking Mary Ellen why he's shouting at her. And basically say because Grandma can't hear. Then they're going upstairs and Grandma's just all depressed. And Yeah, they're talking about how her hearing's getting bad. And Dad, Ear John says he's getting up in age. She's eligible for Social Security before, and apparently some because this all calls back. She calls it the old person tax, and no one's ever called her old before, which is a lie. Because unless you don't count Grandpa,
She hasn't counted Grandpa in 40 years.
No, but Grandpa's always calling her old woman. So unless they're not counting Grandpa calling her old woman, I was gonna say he calls her that every episode. But they're saying that no one's ever
Grandpa hasn't counted in 40 years, which is about the time his first kid came along.
Yeah. I can't remember this scene.
The whole world's gone crazy. It's moving faster than a body can keep up with.
You're not listening to me. Old woman, you've been of a mean temper lately, troubling everyone in the family.
No, this is where you ask something's wrong. This is when they start talking about going to take her to a doctor, ain't it?
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, so. Oh, she's looking at an old picture of herself or her mother, one of the two.
It's herself.
All right, so yeah, she doesn't even recognize herself, you know. Then we got Mary Ellen here, sprouting along. She decides to go take a little dip, you know. No, most people will just take it off the dress, you know, but you gotta keep it PG for the TV.
Yep.
Yeah, she's hiking it all up, and she catches this old kid's attention who should be in jail, but
I won't blame him, because quite frankly, she lies through her teeth.
yeah, but wait. I suppose technically it could be considered illegal depending on if the cops want to fill out the paperwork or not because of the age of consent. It's 16,
Yeah.
16, which I don't know when all that bullshit started. But here's the thing. When she started telling John about him, you know, why didn't he start polishing his shotgun?
Well, I'm thinking at this late stage in the game, John's just glad that she's showing interest in men.
Oh yeah, hell, you know if it was written nowadays, she'd be interested in they would made her a lesbian. It'd be like the old Disney formula there. Put a chicken in and make her gay.
Yeah.
God, that South Park episode was so hilarious. I don't know if you watched that one, didn't you?
Most of it.
Yeah. where Kathleen Kennedy's only suggestion was just put a chicken in and make her gay. Alright. So back to the scene. Oh jeez. We live around here, mile up the road, blah blah blah. Flirting. He's going to University of Virginia and John Boy's going to whatever the fuck the cares. Hey, can I see you what you look like with your hair down? And she pulls it down and she's flirting. And this was not creepy at all. He wants to paint her. Yeah, I guess just as long as it's not Peruvian paint job, I guess. Do not look that up. I swear, do not look that up. Trust me on that. Do not look that up. So anyhow, yeah, she's a grown man. And he says he's 20. And she goes, well, how old do you think I am? 16, 17? Then she just goes, close enough. And then, so he just goes and sticks his tongue right down her throat. PvP had some joke he was going to say about this, but I don't know what it was supposed to be. Then she just screw off. So she has to go to school tomorrow night, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then she just tells him it's right up the road. Oh, Grandma must have fell because...
Doubled up over the sink this morning. She claims just...
Yeah, so Grandma had a dizzy spell there. Yeah, and he's asking Olivia there if she can help convince Grandma to go to the doctor. Then all the children come dragging in because they're teasing Mary Ellen because she got the old handkerchief from the boy thing. Which, this is when she talks to Olivia and stuff. Yeah, John Boy went for there's nothing really to talk about. There's really nothing to talk about this here. Except Mary Ellen runs up there, and Aaron, being the insufferable middle child there, he's like, Mary Ellen's in a room and she won't let me in. Just go downstairs. And finally, she had to tell her to open up. They have a talk. Blah, 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 blah. Then she goes, Kevin, kissed him. And she's basically saying that she's squirming, her insides are squirming around. Yeah, so this is where we learn that Mary Ellen's just 14, so.
Hard to believe she's as bitchy as a 16-year-old.
This bitchy, you barely never had sisters.
No, I did not.
You learn real fast how bitchy they can be. Yeah, basically, she's going through puberty and all that other stuff. She's getting skirming. So anyhow, and she promises she'll tell him how old she is tomorrow. Oh, I'm just gonna play this scene.
On the pangs of romance so soon. Well, I'd better start saving my money. Time passes. It's the father of the bride who pays for the wedding.
No, well,
with the amount of daughters he has, he's gonna go broke again.
Yeah.
Well, now, isn't that just like a man? With John Boy, you talk about college. With Mary Ellen, it's automatically a wedding.
Oh, well, she's lucky.
And what if she decides not to get married at all? She does have a choice, you know.
Libby, you're starting to sound like one of those suffragettes.
So what's the suffragettes?
They were the women who picketed for the women's right to vote in this country.
Oh, so they're the ones that we gotta blame.
Yes,
for
it's
that.
all their fault.
Okay.
And you're starting to make me mad.
Libby, we were married all these years and you still don't know when you're being teased.
Were you? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
No, I ought to feel good about myself because of the choice you made.
I love you.
Is that at first he was serious, so he's seen how pissed she's getting, so it quickly changed his tune. I think that's what happened.
That's good covering your ass there.
I better get back to work. Those wedding dresses cost a lot of money.
All right, so we got the kids out of the school there. Then we got JW's coming back.
Well, of course, she's feeling in a romantic way, and old dummy there has to make an appearance.
Yeah. So we got John Boy moving his stuff out to here. Then she goes, no, she's asking if that what the fuck's his name something Sturges. If Kevin came around anymore. Grandpa says no, he hasn't seen anybody unusual come around, you know. And now they're discussing Grandma's gift. I mean, there's really nothing much to talk about in this episode. They're teasing Mary Ellen. What's that?
Not a lot to talk about, but fairly engaging.
Yeah. So we got Mary Ellen here. They're using. This is Olivia's trying to talk Grandma into going to the doctor, and you're making a mountain out of a molehill here. Then, here.
Bill. Mama, I just have to have a room of my own. I want some privacy.
Your mother and I were talking. Now, what is it you want?
See what? See, yeah, she's sterning him, but really, what most kids, like what we were trying to do is like, it's like the girls are talking, you just walk up and wait for you to be acknowledged that you're there.
Yeah. That's where the term 5 across the eyes came in.
5 across the eyes?
If you interrupt, it's 5 fingers across the eyes. You get the little indentation of the knuckles.
Oh, I got you. Then barely, she just tells the grandma that she wouldn't understand. And now she wants the old shed, but John kind of conveniently forgot to mention that it's that the shed that she promised to shed to the John boy and stuff. So she promises it to Mary Ellen, and Mary Ellen cleans it up. Then John boy here goes on a little tantrum.
Oh,
Your study.
yeah. Last night Daddy gave it to me. He said it was mine.
I didn't know anything about those arrangements.
Well, I didn't know anything either. But you don't really mind, do you? I mean, you have a room of your own. We knew you'd understand.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. See, Mary Ellen's right. He has his own damn room, you know. But except for the he wouldn't mind thing, because really he can study in his room no problem. There. Then here's where we get him going ballistic.
Of course, John Boy's the oldest, and he always understands. I mean, girls are girls, so you got to be patient. You got to understand them, right? And Jim Bobble, he's just a little baby boy, so you got to be patient and understand him. And Ben and Jason, well, of course, they're in the middle, and that's always difficult, so you got to be patient and understand them. But never worry about old John Boy's feelings, because he's practically a man, and you don't have to understand him. Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm tired of being so understanding and so patient. I'm tired of giving in to everybody else, and right now I'm going to have things my way.
Man, he could tell he was starting to run out of breath there at the end. He was not breathing in that whole thing. He was not breathing in that whole yelling thing. I gotta give him props. He has some good lung capacity on him.
Yeah, surprised he got it all out.
He has about as enough lung capacity as my 3-year-old throwing a tantrum. Ha! So yeah. Then we got Grandma. She just falls over. So they go and get Dr. Vance. Oh, they're all worried. You know, they're waiting on Dr. I don't think they showed Dr. Vance, did they? Because I don't remember him. But. Oh, yeah.
Really worried about Grandma. I wish we knew what was wrong with her.
She's getting on, son. We'll just have to wait and see what Dr. Vance has to say. About the shed, John boy, and you blowing up at Mary Ellen?
Oh, see, here's the thing. John can get his point across without having to raise his voice there. I wish I had that. I wish I had that kind of thing there.
Well,
there,
your kids will be old enough one day.
Yeah.
You know, your mother and me got our wires crossed.
You see, Daddy, it's just that someone around here always seems to want something that I have.
I know. But Mary Ellen didn't know that I gave you the shed.
Look, Daddy, I'm sorry. And I didn't mean to blow up out of the way I did. That was wrong.
You really think he was sorry, or is he sorry that he's getting basically the equivalent of an ass chewing from John?
Oh no,
Now
he's sorry. He's a little goody two shoes. He's sorry.
Yeah.
Just that she was being so selfish at the time, and
Jim boy, you remember how it was when you first
Now he
started to
knows
feel
how
like a
John
man?
feels literally every day for the past 18 years.
With John Boy?
Yeah, he's just getting a little taste of the minute his first kid was born. That's been John's life.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Mary Ellen's had her some attention paid to her by a young man.
What's that got to do with the shed?
But now, don't be stubborn, son. When a girl begins to feel like that, she seems to need a nest, and Mary Ellen's made that shed into her nest.
Well, why can't she find another nest? I mean, I did have first dibs on that shed.
He does have a point.
Yeah, but finding her another place to nest is John doesn't have the time, money, or willpower to put another add-on to that house.
Well, what you could do is put a couple walls, and some insulation up in the loft of the barn. I mean, he has the bill for it. All you have to do is just cut a few extra timbers a day, and just throw them up there on the loft and make a room out of it. Might be a small room, but they still have another room.
That might appease her.
That's right.
Is that what?
That might appease her.
Yeah.
You did. You think about it, will you?
Yes.
See, that's not what John John Boy is always good. So here we got Dr. Vance. He's just saying it's a viral ear infection.
Some trouble in the inner ear. I want to have her see a doctor I know in Charlottesville.
If we can get her to go.
Oh, so yeah, this is where the whole doctor in Charlottesville thing starts. And they start arguing about her have to go to the doctor, but she just wants to sit. See, what made the scene great was when she was saying that she's just going to stay in her rocker there, and he'd have to drag her out. The grandpa just grabbed the back of the rocker and just start pushing her out the door. So they got a door that goes right into the living room. I believe it's this door right over here. Goes right into the living room they'd ever use. That would have been great right there, just pushing her out. What? Nope.
I'm sure if he was a younger man, he would have thrown her over his shoulder.
Hey, he has John and John Boy can both have done that. And Grandma's like, take your grandma out to the truck. Throw her over your shoulder if you have to. He has two young kids that could do. He has a kid and a grandkid that could have easily done it. But I don't know if John Boy would. Actually, I don't know if John would do that to his mother or if John Boy would have done that to his grandma.
No, they would have tried to talk the old man down.
Yeah. So we got John Boy here reading at the lake. Here's another good scene.
While I'm fit to be tied, I'm trying to walk it off.
What's the matter? Is it Grandma?
Oh, yeah. You know, she says she won't go to the doctor unless I drag her there.
Well, then drag her there. She's got to go.
No, right there. There, John Boy might have actually done it. Because he's agreeing with Grandpa.
Yeah, good in theory, but let the old man take that bullet.
Actually, I do not think we've had a proper John Boy and Grandpa scene in the so far in the entire series.
Well, not
this
in
is
a
like
while.
the first one. Well, we've had Ben and Grandpa, and we've had Jason and Grandpa, but I don't think we've had John Boy and Grandpa.
Yeah, that may be right.
I think we even had a Jim Bob and Grandpa with the peach tree.
Yeah.
This is a mighty pretty spot. Sure is. I always remember the first time I found this pond. Wasn't any road along here then. And I was out walking with a girl. I would tell
Oh yeah, Did you know it was Grandma right away when he first started telling this story?
I suspected heavily.
Because we know that John Boy knows that Grandpa wasn't her first kiss.
tell you about that girl. Eyes are raw bone green behind the ears. Country boy. She's a pretty little thing with long brown curls. Everyone around here called her Sissy.
Yeah, so they call her Sissy.
Everything okay, Gorilla?
Yeah, the one kid's trying to bail out a bit. So yeah. This is a pretty good memory on Grandpa, though.
Oh, you remember the important parts.
Or since that summer, felt the way I did about a girl. She was so young, so full of dreams. You know, in a way, she was considerable the way Mary Ellen is right now. That Sissy, she wasn't like the other girls. She wasn't even thinking of settling down. She's real handy with a needle.
Oh, so this is where we learned Grandma's real sewing and all that real quick.
Then Zeb goes and does the worst thing he could have ever done to her. But simultaneously the best thing he could ever have done to her.
What's that? Take her away from the sewing?
Yeah, Zeb will tell you.
Yeah.
It was her aim to go over to Richmond and start up a dress shop of her own. Only 18 years of age and all thinking that way. Yes, sirree. There's something real special about that Sissy. Smart as pretty as a picture. And she could hold her own with any man.
Then Grandpa took it away from her. Well, she could have started a dress thing right out of the house and all that. She could have still started up a dress.
But she
No, I'm
didn't,
talking about
and Zeb feels a little bit responsible for it.
Yeah.
What happened to her?
I married her.
Wait, we know her name's Esther, but why does they call her Sissy?
It's just the nickname.
Okay. But she could have still started up a dress shop there, right there on Waltons Mountain.
Maybe, but homesteading was a little bit more in order.
Yeah. Then we got John Boy here coming to Ike and that. Ask him about what's the. He's looking for a gift for Grandma. Yeah.
It took me 2 seasons to grow those. I cultivated them, nurtured them, until they came to be the beauties they are.
Oh, those are the most beautiful flowers I've ever seen in my life.
It's just pure pleasure just to stand here and look at them.
So basically, John Boy somehow cons him into selling them for 15 cents.
Yeah. His father taught him
Which,
a little too well.
let's see, 15 cents in 1934. Seem about right?
Yeah, that's about right.
So basically he sold it for $3.50. Pretty good deal on John Boy's part.
Yeah. He was
So
lucky
they're
they're
getting dinner
basically
ready.
family. Ike would hold a grudge
Yeah.
if they weren't family.
Yeah. So anyhow, Mary Ellen brings dinner. Grandma says, "In all my life, I've never eaten breakfast in bed. I'm not gonna start it now. I'm gonna eat out at the table like the rest of the day." Basically yelling at him. And she thinks she's just gonna lay her out to pasture now. And this is when Mary Ellen asked her about about freaking Kevin there. He goes, "Yeah, we're on new time. I told him you were in school with the rest of the children." Then she starts her little pouting match about the rest of the children. I never gonna want to see me again.
Well, yeah, he's not interested in jailbait.
Yeah. So anyhow, John Buck comes in crying, and then she brings him. Basically, they make up. He brings her the flowers. That changes her mind. Nothing really to talk about. And he pretty much says she can have it. It's her own room. He can study up in his room. Then we're loading up. All right. So they're loading up a bunch of timber there. Ugh. Ugh. Man, I'm getting older. These kids are getting heavy. One of the two.
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah. Then so she's got to plant the flowers.
Not always like it, but like. Well,
So anyhow, Grandpa manages to talk Grandma into going to the doctor. He says it. Which custom did he say it was?
Old Chinese custom.
Yeah, an old Chinese custom that the person's birthday, they're supposed to give their partner a gift, So what he wants is her to go to the doctor there. His grandma's response was the best here. I'm just gonna play this.
I have convinced her. We are going to Charlottesville to see the doctor, and we'll be back in plenty of time for your party.
I'm feeling just fine today.
Today is your birthday.
Yeah, and you're using it to get your own way.
I told her there is an old Chinese.
Yeah, yep, you're right. There's old Chinese. Ow, ow, ow! Don't pull. Ah. She's pulling my beard.
Custom that you're supposed to give a gift to the other fellow on your birthday, and your gift to me is to go to Charlottesville to see the doctor because I am tired of picking you up off the ground all the time.
He has a
Now
point.
you know where John Boy got the silver tongue he used on Ike Gotsey.
Yeah.
It's a family gift.
And my favorite line of the whole episode's right here.
Sense to me, Grandpa.
We'll be back in time for supper.
Chinese custom, my foot. Well, the Arabs have a custom of 5 or 6 wives. Would you like to try that one?
No, I have trouble enough with what I've got.
Right there, though. Yeah. That was the best line of the right there. Both Grandma and Grandpa. Then they're asking like, why do they always? They really love each other. Why do they always fight like they don't? And then they go, people show their love in different ways.
It's just a nice way of saying they're crazy.
And she's just teasing him, saying that she got the flowers from some boy and all that. He's kind of an admirer, blah, blah, blah. Oh, right there. That's like the perfect picture right there. Is that not like the best picture? She looks like
Yeah,
she jerked
she's
off her
just
ass.
realizes. Yeah, she's drunk on power. She realizes she can twist GW around her little finger, and he is just dumb enough to go along with it.
It's so funny. Just the reactions we can see, just like some of these stills we can catch them just in the right moment. So yeah, she's just stringing him along, and she makes him do his bidding. Here, then they give Grandma their prize. Oh, or Elizabeth's job is to lick the bowl clean. That's awfully nice of them. So they wrote it there. They gave Grandma's gift. And they're making fun of her for they're making fun of her for that. That's what did they call it? A muffler?
I
And
believe
they go,
so.
Thing awfully small to be a muffler and all that. Blah blah blah. Then could go around her knees. Then she gets all upset when John calls it a dish rag, a knitted dish rag. Even Grandma didn't know what it was. So yeah, it's an inner ear infection. They cleaned out her ear and stuff, so now she can hear all fine. She's fit as a fiddle. Gonna live another 20 years. Just a sec. So yeah, they give her that. Grandma's love it. And this was awfully, I don't know if this was awfully mean or awfully nice of Grandpa. A brass thimble. I don't know exactly what I know they're used for sewing, but I don't know exactly what they use them in sewing for.
It's basically a finger guard.
Oh, okay. So you don't prick yourself. So, and she goes, Samuel, and she's all sad. So yeah, we're just basically giving all the gifts, and she's loving it all. That's pretty much the rest of the episode, anyhow. So now on to our epilogue. Mary Ellen's newfound maturity was with her one day, then gone the next. In time, it was to come to stay. Today, she lives in Richmond, Virginia, the wife of a professor at Virginia's Commonwealth University, and a mother of 2 sons. We see each other when we can, and our talk is apt to return to those days during the Depression, which these many years later still seem filled with wonder.
Wife of
professor,
you know what? So GW struck out.
Yeah. Well, here we got Grandma and Grandpa. This were I forgot to mention this. Where we found out that Grandma and Grandpa had 3 children. And they cleared the land and they broke the ground on where the house stands. So.
Yep, they homesteaded that mountain basically by hand.
Okay. How would you rate this episode?
I give it a solid B-. A
solid B-? Yeah. Okay. Any hot takes or anything you want to say about
it? Not a lot happened, but a good amount to hold your interest.
Yeah. See, I'm giving this
at the end where Mary Ellen just decides on a whim that she doesn't want the shed anymore, and John Boy can have it, and she doesn't give him a moment to protest, so it's all his.
Okay. Me, I am giving it a C minus because it's a little boring, dragged out, and the stuff with Mary Ellen was just like I didn't really want to put up with it there.
Give it about
But
10 years, it'll be your life.
yeah, John Boy he's John Boy and John's, and I'm bumping up to a C just because of the Grandpa John Boy thing. And dang it, I cannot pop out the chat for some reason. I was gonna say, let's see what the chat has to say about the poll, but it's not letting me pull up the chat. So,
the chat, as far as I can see it, just the one vote.
just the one.
Yeah. B plus, B minus.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Now I can pop. Yeah, we just got the one vote B plus, B minus. It won't let me vote my own poll, so.
No,
Alrighty.
Unfortunately, they don't let you put your finger on the scale.
All right. So, what you got going on this week, Jerm?
Well, the winner of the poll for Saturday Morning Cartoons, in pretty much a landslide, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
All right.
Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, I'll try to be there. All right. And also, thank you, Jedi Bill, for coming. I know he has karaoke coming up tomorrow night. He does karaoke on Wednesdays. I'm not sure what else he got planned. Oh, and it's Western Cinema Sundays at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. As for me, I'm going to try to get one or two recordings done tonight for my new Keys to the Kingdom series. No promises on that yet. Wednesday, or tomorrow, we're reviewing Strange Days. That's Sunday. We are Sunday. It should be on time. I should be back from Cato by then. But that we are watching Christmas Vacation, and then on Wednesday it's just my watch party. Then next week's episode is, let's see, The Honeymoon. A weary Olivia embarks on a one-woman sit-down strike, prompting her husband to take her on a belated honeymoon. After 19 years of marriage, John Boy is hesitant to allow his relationship with Marcia. Oh, fuck, we got another relationship thing tomorrow. It's okay. Alright, so we'll have the honeymoon, hopefully next Friday. So with that, you guys have a good night. Remember to be a gorilla.